Hey everybody, so today we have a list that broke out, if you will. A lot of people started talking about it. And some people called it Esper Bolus, because there's pretty much just a splash of red for the Dragon God. Um, but Four Color Walkers is their name that I guess is the actual name that has been given. Popped up on TCG Player. I believe it won an event, an online event, or finished top 8, excuse me, in an online event there. And so we're real quick gonna run over the deck and then try to play a couple games with it, see how things plan out or pay out. Um, so we got one Duress, two Agonizer Remorse, one Elder Spell, four Thought Erasures, four Narset Parter Veils, two Cry the Carnarium, one Teferi, or excuse me, four Teferi Time Raveler, three Oath of Kaya, four Atris Oracle of Half Truths, three Elspeth Conquers Death, four Nicol Bolas the Dragon God, and two Liliana Dreadhorde General. One Swamp, playset of Hollow Fountains, Godless Shrines, Watery Graves, then two Steam Vents, and then you have three Temple of Silence, four Temple of Deceit, and then a full playset of Interplanar Beacon. So I guess the point of this deck and the whole thought process behind it is a simple fact to try to control the board, eliminate, rip their hand apart, eliminate threats, live long enough to play Else with Conqueror's Death, reanimate a bunch of other stuff, play Nicol Bolas, and ultimate through obviously Planeswalkers. I guess you could theoretically kill somebody with Atris, but Atris is really just there for some card advantage. So that being said, we're gonna go ahead and let's go ahead and see. We're gonna play some best of one games here. Play it ranked. See if we can't get a meta matchup here. See how things are. See how they break down. No black source. And I don't think I can really keep this. I do have the one single red that we would need, but Interplanar Beacon will get that too. It's a little bit better. I'm gonna keep this. We'll get rid of one Atris. And hopefully, no early interaction makes things kind of hard, but that's some early interaction. So we're gonna Remorse. Start to try to rip their hand apart. Bond of Revival. So I guess the point is Tonebound Lich here. Discard. So we're gonna take that Bond of Revival. They don't have a way to animate or reanimate the Agent Treachery right now. So it really hurts because they're gonna ditch it and hopefully we can snag it back, but don't know if that is going to happen. So Atris, hopefully we can find some more hand disruption. But also, it's like the problem with this is yeah. I guess I just need that one card, Cry the Carnarium. That's not gonna work out too great, but I guess it could have just could have gone for the two of them, but do you have Bolus mana? Next turn, there's Blood for Bones. Alright, so they get to take Atris. That kind of stinks, but we shotgun this Hollow Fountain. Elspeth Conquers Death. Oh, it took my land. Okay. Alright, well, that makes things a little bit more awkward. And I can only use that to cast Planeswalkers, so that's kind of a mess up. So they keep me off black. Do you have to mention it's the first time I've ever played with Interplanar Beacon? the filter for beacon is pretty good running through all the planeswalkers that are in the deck. So there's Liliana. Still can't do anything. I doubt. I guess they could block. I wouldn't think that they block, but yeah. Also, probably shouldn't have attacked because then I could have blocked the Tomebound Lich. That's alright. It's a Drakuseth. So if they have another Blood for Bones, or oof. Yeah, if it had taken the lands, it would have been in a better spot. Alright. Well, this game's over. Definitely a... the mana base is definitely a little awkward. You're playing a Beacon. I guess if we had drawn more Planeswalkers, things would have been okay. Would have had a better chance at stabilizing in that game. Also, if it wouldn't have been stuck at 4. Wow, that hand is hot mess. That hand's actually it's pretty good. Alright, keep this. Get rid of the Bolus. We have some time to work through that. They have the Atris. So let's Temple. We'll get that bout so we can we'll keep that land on top. You can play tapped land next turn and duress them. Dreadhorde Butcher. That card's probably going to be a little problematic for us. And I actually don't think... So, we'll play Beacon and Remorse. Odds are they're not actually going to have... Okay. Well, we'll take the Spawn. And then next turn we can duress the Embercleave. So that's good, because if I would have lived with Duress, we wouldn't have been able to take the Spawn. They'd have a Spawn on the battlefield. This. Take the Cleave. Unfortunately, Dreadhorde Butcher is just going to keep ticking up. So I think we're probably going to have to Narset here. Try to find an answer. That's an answer. But I do need another white source. So I can't cast that until we find another white source. I'm not going to get to 6, so we'll take the Elspeth Conqueror's Death. Play the Hell Fountain. Hopefully rip a white source off the top. So this does give us 2 answers to what's on the board currently. And actually, the Atris matches up against Murderous Rider, so I don't have to worry about that. I just really have to worry about that. What's another Narset? That doesn't really help much. So I think I have to play the Atris here. I'm at 6. It doesn't actually matter, does it? I needed to draw a white source off the top there, and even that didn't matter. That's just dead either way. Choose Bolus. A couple of lands get flipped, isn't that big a deal. I'm dead. Unchecked Butcher. Really did a lot there. Yep. It's exactly lethal. So we are playing. I mean, playing in best of one, not best of three. So it does make a little bit of a difference, obviously, but it shouldn't make that big a difference. All right. Again, no white source. It's really weird because there's only 2 red sources, having drawn the steam vents in a couple of games. Makes things kind of awkward. It's really like a white source for Oath of Kaya. Especially now, Oath of Kaya against mono red is pretty good. I'm actually gonna shotgun into play, and I probably shouldn't, but see what we're working with. Wow. Okay. If I get a cry, the cry would be okay. I'm gonna take the light up the stage. I'll leave Remorse on top. I can play Steam Vents tapped, Remorse away the Cleave or one of the Giants if I have to. So, and that's just strictly the, like, they don't get to do a lot with their turn. Alright, I'm gonna take Bone Crusher Giant. The hope really is to just keep them off. They have to play Bone Crusher Giant. They can't play the Embercleave next turn. I guess to be sure, white off the top. White Parisian land. So like I guess it had to be a Hallowed Fountain or a Godless Shrine is really where I would want to be. Especially right now. Take it to, I could shoot the Scorch Spitter down with the Oath of Kaya. Or potentially the Teferi. Teferi will actually stop a lot of this. At least right now. I bounce the Scorch Spitter. So bounce the Scorch Spitter. Teferi's gonna die, but they can't, actually. So if I plus, they can't actually kill the Teferi. So they can't flash in the Embercleave until Teferi's off the battlefield. So to give me another chance to draw a white source, take it back. They can now with, they have tap outs. They can't play anything else. So if they were to Castle Embereth, Castle Embereth and pump the team. Okay, it looks like they're just gonna probably play the Bone Crusher Giant. So again, white source off the top. Be really good. So Oath of Kaya to shoot down. There's Godless Shrine. I had to shock it into play, but so Oath of Kaya, shoot down Bone Crusher Giant. It's pretty good here. Gain 3 life back. Now I can actually, I'm gonna bounce Oath of Kaya. They could choose, ooh, double Oath, okay. They could choose to take out the Teferi, but they won't be able to really recuperate there. I mean, they'll be able to flash in. Should be able to try to do something here. 2, 4, 5. Yeah, they're gonna kill the Teferi. Take 3, go to 5. I'm gonna gain 3, go back to 8 next turn. An untapped land off the top would be a land off the top, I guess, is preferred. Ooh. So I do this. It's actually okay. So shoot down the Scorch Spitter. And then I should be able to duress away the Embercleave. Oh, of course. They have double cleave. Oh, that's alright. I mean, I guess they attack with 10th Street Dodger for 4. Is what they're going to be able to do. And they're just going to hard cast it now. Not worry about it. That's fine. They can't do anything else, so it doesn't really matter. And we have to hope that they don't draw another 10th Street Dodger. So it's got to be Oath of Kaya. Keep that oath. Shoot that. Temple's down. I think I probably could have used that temple. It would have been better, but I'm going to... So they'll equip. I think it's Narset here. Nope, I lied. It's going to be Nicol Brolis. Ticking down. We're going to destroy Scorched Spitter. And now if they attack Bolas, they'll have to gain... Like, I'll gain 2 and they'll lose 2. So this is the way that the deck is meant to be. Is literally just control the board. Use your life as a resource. Or attempt to control the board, rather. And I guess I'm taking 6. Which is a little rough here. I mean, everything in the mono red deck has haste. So we go to 2. There's Teferi. We'll start with trying to figure out what. Can I Atris plus? I can't Atris plus Teferi here. I can Narset plus Teferi if I needed to. I need to maximize what I'm gonna bounce into. So this is Narset. I need to try to draw like Oath of Kaya. And I probably... Elspeth Conquers Death isn't gonna do it. Cry of the Carnarium isn't gonna do it. But I am at 3. They don't have... They need to drop a land or rip a land off the top here. So I am going to bounce the Embercleave. And then we have the Elspeth Conquers Death. So if they didn't draw a land, drew a land, we're dead. If they didn't draw a land, I can live for a turn. Okay, so they didn't draw a land. So they have Thought Erasure to take the Elspeth Conqueror's Death. They had to pump once with Roberts to go to 3. Yep, see what we're working with. Atris, interesting. Okay. So probably lead off. I'm thinking this next year. We're gonna lead off with Narset minus. Agonizing Remorse. And then let's plus this. I'm gonna draw a card, and they're gonna exile a card. Drew another Teferi, which is pretty good. We're gonna need to play the Teferi, which is because I can't play Elspeth Conquers. Can I play? No, I can't because I don't have double white. So Elspeth Conquers Death doesn't actually matter right now. So play Remorse. Need to get rid of the Ember. Fervent Champion. Ugh. Oof. Did they just kill us? Nope. So with taking Fervent Champion, we can't take the Embercleave because I got rid of land. That's fine. And play this to Fairy. I'm at 1 because I forgot I lose a life. Forgot Agonizing Remorse, I lose life, so it's probably it. We're gonna keep this. I can't shop it into play. What am I doing? Bouncing Robber of the Rich, I guess. I think I lost this. I don't think there's a way out of it. Yeah. They played. They held the Fervent Champion, and that probably got it to him. So they managed to squeak that one out. That's the way the deck's supposed to work. Should work. Not even double white really hurt there for Elspeth Conqueror's Death. Unfortunately. So I guess first glance is that it is the deck seems solid. It does do its thing, and I'm assuming that in best of 3 it's probably a better choice. Definitely not a best of 1 deck. In best of 3 you do get access to some things that are better, especially for the decks that we played against. So you get 3 Disfigure, 3 Devout Decree, 2 Heroes Precinct 1, 2 Spark, 2 Cry, 2 Ritual, and Command the Dread Horde. So, I mean, it'd be better. After sideboard, I think we're extremely favored there, very heavily favored. Being able to cut out some things, like cut out the Elder Spell because you're not going to need the Elder Spell at all. Potentially cut out something like Elspeth Conqueror's Death, and then put in some of the more removal, or like the control aspects to be able to control that board against those aggro decks. But as there it is, that's kind of the new deck that's come out recently that some people have been kind of raving about, that Esper build, which seems pretty good with that Splash of Bolus, and actually didn't matter. Like, casting Bolus seemed fairly easy. I thought it might be harder, but having only the 1 red pip in the entire deck on the 4 copies of that is pretty good. So if you have any comments, there's something else that you noticed, or maybe some thoughts about what could be added to or taken out of the deck, and maybe it's just a different build or different tweak on this deck, please leave a comment for it, and appreciate everything. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.